Hello, welcome to the presentation of my algorithms course homework 10. In this homework, I will solve problems related to greedy algorithms. So now let's start with a basic practice question on greedy algorithms. Okay, so it gave me a problem. The problem's name is minimum coins. So in a given an amount of money, and we want to make the change using the fewest coins possible. The available coin denominations are 1 cent, 5 cents, 10 cents, and 25 cents. And it asks me to write a function called mincoins that takes the amount as input and returns the minimum number of coins needed to make that amount. For example, we have this here, and we have already defined me a function called mincoins, and it takes an amount as parameter, and it should give an output 4, an output 6, an output 2, and it gives me a hint here. So I'm going to stop the video here. I will solve this problem, then I will come back with the answer. Okay, now I found the solution for this problem. So here I wrote a function for the problem. Now let's see if it's correct or not. Okay, so ChatGPT says that my function is correct. Now let's see how I wrote it and how it works. Okay, so now let's start with the function and how I did this. So in a greedy algorithm, we have to check as much of things as possible. You don't have to, you don't have to work on a given condition. So you have to find as much as possible in a greedy algorithm. So we have a function called mincoins, and it takes a parameter. It takes an amount as parameter, which is the amount of the money. And here we have a list called coins. We are storing the denominations in this list. We have 25, 10, 5, and 1 as it's given in the problem. And we have a coin count which is assigned to 0 initially. It calculates the total number of coins spent during this evaluation. So have a loop called for. We have a loop called for coin in coins in here. We have a for loop here. We are checking for every single element in this coins. So while if the amount is greater than or equal to 0, we have to check until the amount of money gets to 0, and we have a while loop here. So in this while loop, while amount is greater than coin, because we are going to subtract the coin from the amount here, so amount has to be greater than the coin. So while the amount is greater than or equal to coin, amount should be amount minus coin. Yeah, for example, if we are starting from 37, it will subtract 25 initially, and it adds to the coin count 1. Then it goes back to the beginning of the while loop, and it checks again whether if it's greater than or not. If it's not greater than the coin, it's going to the beginning of this for loop and iterates to the next coin, which is 10. And then it does the same thing for the coin 10. And at the end, when the amount is when all of the coin in coins ended, it returns the coin count. So this is basically how it works. Okay, so now let's see how it works on an example. Let's say we are taking an amount of 63. We picked 63. It created a list called coins, and it created an variable called coin count. So it's for coin in coins. If the amount is greater than 0, yes, it is greater than 0, it's initially 63. And while amount is greater than coin, our first coin is 25, and 63 is greater than 25. So it subtracts 25 from 68 So I mean not 68, it is 63. Okay, so then what does it do? So it subtract the coin. Our coin is 25 and our amount is 63. It's subtracted, so what would we get? We would get 38, and our next amount value is 38, and it adds the coin count 1. Now we are done with the first iteration. Then we move to the second iteration. We are checking if amount is still greater than coin. Yes, 38 is still greater than coin, which is 25, and subtracts the coin from that amount again, and we are subtracting 25 from 38. So what we get? We would get 13, and it adds to the coin count 1 again. Now our current coin count is 2 right now, and then we are going back to the while loop, and now this condition is false, because now we have left with only amount of 13, and 13 is not greater than coin. So we move to the beginning of our for loop, and it will move to the next coin, which is 10. So what if amount is greater than 0? Yes, it is greater than 0, and we are checking if amount is greater than coin. Yes, it is greater than 10. Then we are subtracting coin from that amount. What we get? We will get 3, and now we have added our coin count 1 more, and now our coin count is 3. And then we move to the beginning of the while loop, and the while loop in the while loop this condition is false again. So we move to the beginning of our for loop, and we move to our next coin, which is 5, and 5, we are checking if amount is greater than 0. Yes, it is, but the amount is not greater than coin. So we pass on this while loop, and we come back to our beginning, and we are checking for our last coin, which is 1, and amount is 3 right now. And our amount is greater than coin. Then we are subtracting the coin from our amount, which and we subtract our next amount is 2, and we added our coin count 1 more, and then we move to our beginning of our while loop, and amount is still greater than coin, and we subtract our coin from that amount. Now we have only 1 amount left, and our coin count is incremented by 1, and it is 5 right now. And in the last step, our amount is 1 and our coin is 1, and when we subtract the amount from the coin, we add a coin count 1 more, and we are returning the coin count because we are end up with the for loop and there is no coins left, and we cannot subtract coin from the amount. So at the end, our total number is 63. Okay, as you can see, we have 6 numbers, that we have 4 coins that is needed to the minimum count of coins. It is 4. For 20, let's check it for 20. So we are starting from the coins, and we have the coins again, you know, the same things, and we are starting from 25 again. And if amount is greater than 0, yes, it is greater than 0, and we're checking this condition. If amount is greater than coin, no, it's not. 25 is not greater than 20, so we move back to our for loop, and we iterate to our new coin, which is 10, and amount is greater than 0, and amount is greater than coin. So we are subtracting 10 from 20, and we get 10, and we increment coin count by 1, and then we move back to our while loop again, and we're checking if it is greater than coin or not. Yes, it is greater than the coin, so we subtract it again, and we get 0, and we incremented coin count by 1, and then we are done with this while loop. And when we come back to our for loop, we have see that there's nothing to do, because all of the coins left. There's nothing we can do because the amount is already 0. So our total number is 2. So this is basically how my function works. Okay, now I'm going to continue with another basic practice question on greedy algorithms. And now let's see what will it give us. Okay, now it gives me a problem called activity selection. In a given set of activities, each represented by a start time and a finish time, the goal is to select the maximum number of non-overlapping activities. It asks me to write a function called maxActivities that takes a list of activities as input, where each activity is represented as a tuple, start time and finish time, and returns the maximum number of non-overlapping activities. For example, in here the output should be 4, and give me a hint here. Now I'm going to stop the video here. I will try to solve the problem, and I will come back with the answer if I can. Okay, now I find a solution for this problem. So here we have a function called maxActivities, and it takes an activities as parameter. So now let's see if it's correct or not. Let's ask it to ChatGPT. Okay, so ChatGPT says that my implementation looks correct. And let's see how it works in here. So we have a function called maxActivities, and it takes a parameter as activities, which is list. So first of all, at the beginning, in this type of overlapping activities problems, we have to sort the elements firstly. So in here we are not using the sorting algorithms because there is an already function called sorted in Python that sorts the elements in a list that is consisting of tuples. So in this function, what we do in sorted, the first parameter is activities. We are taking this list and we are assign the key value to lambda, and the tuple is tuple 1. What does this mean? This means that we are sorting the elements by the second element in that tuple. For example, we are sorting the elements by their second element by their finish times. That's what this function needs. We have to sort it first, and then we are creating a variable called current finish time, which is 0, and another variable called activities taken, which is again initially 0. Okay, so now we have a for loop here. We are looking for the start time and finish time on all elements in this sorted list by finish times of these activities. And at the beginning we have an if statement. We are checking if our start time is greater than or equal to current finish time. Why we are checking this? We are checking it because the elements should not be overlapped. If the start time is smaller than the current finish time, this means that they are these activities taking place in the same timeline, so we cannot count this on. So at the beginning we have to check whether the start time is greater than or equal to current finish time or not. And if that's true, we are incrementing the activities taken by 1 because this is a valid activity and we can add this to our activity list. And then we are assigning our current finish time value to the finish time value of that specific element in the sorted by finish list. And we are doing this for all elements in the sorted by finish list with this for loop, and at the end we are returning activities taken here. Okay, now let's visualize how our function works in this example that is given in the problem. So we call the function maxActivities, and we firstly sorted the activities elements. It sorts the elements of these activities by their finish times, and then we are assigning two values, current finish time and activities taken, to 0. And here we have a for loop. We are checking start time, finish time in sorted by finish. So, and at the beginning, initially, you're checking if whether the start time of our first element is greater than current finish time. So the start time of our first element is 1 and our current finish time initially is 0. so we can count this if statement is true. So we are incrementing activities taken by 1, and we are assigning the current finish time value to the finish time value of that element, which is 3. So, and then we move to our next element, which is 2, 5. We are checking whether the start time of this element is greater than the current finish time. Current finish time was 3, as we have assigned in previous iteration, and 2 is not greater than 3. So what does this mean? While this activity is still going on, this activity starts, so they are overlapping, so we cannot count this. So we pass this on, and our activities taken is still 1. And we move on to our next element, which is 3, 8. We are checking whether the start time of this element, which is 3, is greater than the current finish time, which is again 3. Yes, it is. So we can increment our activities taken by 1. Now it became 2. And the current finish time, we assign the current finish time to 8. And we move on to our next element. We are looking for the start time. The start time is 5, and the current finish time is 8. It's not greater than that, so we pass this on again, and we move on to our next element, which is 8 to 10, and 8 is equal to our current finish time 8, so we can count this. We are incrementing activities taken by 1. Now it became 3, and we are assigning the current finish time value to 10, which is the finish time of this element. And then in the last part, we move on to our next iteration, which is 9, 12, and we are checking the start time is greater than or equal to 10. No, it's not, so we cannot count this. And at this point, our for loop is end, because all the elements we iterated to our all elements, so it's done. And at the end, we are returning activities taken, which is 3. Now let's run our code. As you can see, it gives an output 3. Okay, so this is basically all about my homework.